So I think I'm finally, oh my gosh, I'm trying to do a double crochet. Why am I trying to do a double crochet? What am I doing? But hey everyone, welcome back. If you have been here before, if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Caitlin. I kind of just ramble on about crochet and do different crochet projects. So today I'm really going to kind of try to focus in on my 2024 book blanket. It is a project I started and I'm making videos as accountability to make sure I'm kind of keeping up on books and actually working on the blanket, because I knew when I started this that I would not, how should I say this? I would lose interest. I would get bored, I would get distracted by other things, and I was so strong through June. But I have not made a video on this since my June video. So I have a couple months to catch up on this. Obviously did not make my monthly goal of making video to hold me accountable. And in all honesty, I have not worked on crocheting since my May books. Sorry, I was going to say since May, but I've crocheted on it since May, but I haven't really updated books on here since my May books. So I'm kind of behind. It is mid-October and luckily it's starting to turn cool, so it's cozy enough to have this on my lap as I work, but I got some catching up to do. So this video is going to be a little bit different from the past ones. I'm not going to talk about each of the books. I was looking through the list and some of them, like my 1-star ones, I'm like, I don't remember because it's been so long since I have read them. They didn't really stand out to me. I don't really remember what they were about. I'm not going to talk about them. So I'm going to just kind of talk about the project itself and crochet, trying to catch up on my books with that. But I am just going to attempt to catch up on my book blanket. So the hard thing about this project is just the length of it, the longevity of it. There's all these other projects that come up that I want to work on before I work on this or instead of working on this, and it's difficult to find the motivation to come back to it. Now the nice thing about this project is the fact that it's easy. I am jumping right back in. It's just the moss stitch, so it's super simple to kind of just jump into. It's a comforting stitch. I know what I need to do for this, so I don't have to try to remind myself of what row I was on or where I was in the pattern and how many stitches I need to do. I just need to crochet. I just need to find the time to do it. As I come back to this project, I definitely am thinking that I don't want to do a worsted weight yarn if I do this in the future. It's acrylic, it's not the nicest to work with. Now that I've worked with some other types of yarn, a little bit nicer, the cottons, the blends. This is just straight up acrylic, which it's still nice. A nicer acrylic. It's not the roughest I've seen or worked with, but I definitely am also a little worried about how thick it is. I feel like it's just in the coldest of days that I would want to use this. It's not a year-round blanket, but it's definitely a blanket I would like to have out year-round. You know, on the back of a couch, for example. Finally have something crochet up here. But it's heavy, it's bulky, it's big. It's not necessarily the nice flowy crochet blanket that I would like to pull on in spring when I'm just a little chilled. I'm gonna get overheated in this worsted weight blanket. The thing that confuses me, just kind of a random thing about crochet, like temperature blankets or book blankets or whatever, like the yearly blanket, is what do people do with all those blankets? Now, I understand that you can like change out blankets and decor for season, but like for temperature blankets, that's, I guess you could do different color themes. They don't have to be, I don't know, reds and blues and stuff if you're doing a temperature blanket. But I just, if you do this every year, because it is a nice comforting project, don't you get like overwhelmed with all of your final products and projects just kind of laying around? There's only so many blankets you can have, and if your house is like mine, you already have a lot of blankets just kind of accumulated over the years, and they're functional. You use them when, I don't know, when families visit, you can kind of give them that as extra layers over comforter in case they're cold. But I don't know, maybe my house is just too small to be thinking about all the places I could store blankets, because I'm kind of like debating. I know it's October, but I'm kind of debating. I'm like, do I do another one next year? Since I've learned about what I would prefer, what I like, there's always different patterns. You don't have to do the moss stitch over and over every year. But this, the practicality. What do I do with a blanket made every single year? I don't know. Tell me what you do with it. Do you give them away as gifts? Is it meaningful for other people? I guess for a book blanket, for them to be like, oh yes, the book somebody else read in the year of 2024. I don't know. I guess temperature blanket, if you're selling it at a market or to someone you know, that might make sense, because they'll be like, ah yes, here's 2024 in a blanket. I lived through that too. I don't know. Just rambling. With this project, it's not only the crocheting that I've kind of slowed down on, it's also my books. I think part of it is I am no longer worried about having enough books to make a full blanket. I have enough books. Like, I am nice and cozy as I'm working on it. It's, I guess I have it bunched up a little bit. My feet are covered and it's up to my belly. I know you can't see it, not important. And I've still got, like, again, this is May I'm working on. So if it's going all the way down to my toes, across my lap and up to here, I've got a blanket. Like, I definitely have a big enough blanket. I'm all worried about it being too big, but I'm also worried about it, like, well, I guess I So I'm no longer worried about that. I've met my yearly book goal since I did a lot of audiobooks this year. And I found I really like doing audiobooks. But I've slowed down on it just because over the summer I'm doing stuff more as a family and as a teacher. So I didn't have that separate time to listen to audiobooks or read as much. I also have been having a hard time finding books that just keep my interest. I've had a lot more that I'm just kind of not excited about. Ones I thought would be good, but once I got into them were I struggled to finish. I have a few did not finishes, but that's kind of like throughout the year. But the books that I have been reading lately, I've had 3-star ones, but I've also had some very dull 1-star ones, and that's just, I don't know. It's just, it's hard to get excited about finishing a book when you're just like, you don't like your book. And that has been kind of a pattern I've been noticing lately. Switching to the next row, give me a second. But it's just, I don't know. I really do need some good book recommendations. If you have any, please, as always, let me know. Luckily, I teach, and there's always kids who love to read, and I can get book recommendations from them. But over time, it's the same books, and I've read them. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out books. Let me know. I can only read so many middle grade since I have a lot of 6th and 7th grade, well, not 7th graders, but 6th and 8th graders who are into manga, I think that's the book version. They're into that, which I'm not into, and Percy Jackson, which I've read, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, not interested. I need some more true young adult and good adult books. I've read a few good ones, but they aren't consistently good in my book where they capture me and hold me. So let me know. It's so nice, this project, because it goes quickly. When you're doing it, it's going quickly. I'm a little daunted by how many books I have to catch up on since I'm still working on May books. And again, it's October. But it does go quickly. I don't have the brainwaves to work on a more intricate project. I need something to do with my hands. I don't want to scroll online. I don't want to think. I really needed this. I really needed to remember that because it's an easy one to just kind of pull out. Maybe I just need to leave it out in the living room where I crochet. That way I can see it and grab it instead of having it tucked away somewhere for when I choose to pull it out. That does sound like me. So that's really it for this video. I know it's not like my past ones where I've talked about each of the books. I still put them on there on the screen, but still, thanks for joining. I really need these to kind of help me be accountable on like actually working on it, because I would not have pulled this project out, and I don't know when I would have pulled this project out if I hadn't told myself I would make a video every month. Obviously failed at that, but trying to get back to that accountability. So if you stuck around, thanks for joining, and thanks for keeping me accountable on this project. Hopefully I actually make one of these again for November, but I guess we'll see. So thanks for crocheting with me if you chose to grab a project and work on it during the video, and I will see you next time. Bye.